And welcome to a Geordie Giant Veg. I must apologise that I haven't done any videos lately, any updates within the last month. Things have just been so hectic, I've been really busy, and to be honest, I just haven't had time to do any videos. But I'm doing a quick update now in the unit. I'll show you what's going on in here, and I'll do another little follow-up video, maybe it's during the week next week, to show you what's going on down at the allotment. To show you the marrows and the cabbages and the giant Swedes and the leeks and stuff like that. My local show is at the end of this month, August. I think it's on the 26th and 27th. So I'll be getting some stuff ready for that. I'll show you what's going on at home in the greenhouse. I've got cucumbers which are starting to fruit now, and the leeks which are now blanching, and I've got some onions drying at home. So I'll show you them in a bit. But yeah, down at the unit, I'll just quickly show you now. There's a couple of things which have went wrong. As guessed that the giant leeks wouldn't last until the show, which they haven't. They're not of any decent quality now anyway. They've kind of come to the end of their life. They're not growing anymore. They've just stopped, sort of thing. So I'll show you them now. Sorry about the light. But yeah, these leeks now, as you can see, they've went really long. They've come to the end of their life, they've dried out, sort of thing. They're not growing very well anymore. So those leeks didn't last till the show like we thought they were going to. The giant carrots, I don't know if you can see this one, they need watering, but yeah, the giant carrots are looking decent. The tops are nice and spot on them. The giant onion, this one here, has just completely stopped. It's still grown slightly at the top, as you can see, putting out another flute there, but the bottom of the onion isn't bulking up at all, and isn't growing any further, so I don't know what to do with that one. I've got to let's just get this chili out here. As you can see, I've got this chili plant here which has got some great fruit on. It is a hot wait there 2 seconds. It's a hot Shakira chili, that's what type it is. Needs tidying up a little bit, but as you can see, these are starting to turn a bit dark purpley now. Same here. It means that soon they're going to be red when they turn purple. But yeah, there's some good chilies on there. It's only in a little pot, but I'm getting quite a lot of fruit on there, as you can see. It's been underneath the lights in there. The next chili which I have in here is, this is a Carolina Reaper, and the plant is doing okay. Starting to get a few little flowers on here and there, so that'll start producing some fruit soon. The Reaper. This chili is the Dragon's Breath chili. As you can see, it's grown to be quite a substantial plant. It's looking nice. It's got flowers on the inside there as well, so I'll be getting some Dragon's Breath flowers on there soon. Chilies on there, sorry. The little pepper, the pepper plant that I'm growing in there. Pepper's starting to change colour now and ripen. It's got 3 little peppers on there. It's just a standard bell pepper. Yeah, so that's cracking on nice. The tomatoes, these giant tomatoes have become very heavy for the plants. The plants have become very heavy, sorry, and I've been supporting them with these. You can hear the yo-yos, how tight the yo-yos are, and there's some fruit on some of them. So if you were to look here, I've got fruit on quite a big tomato on there, but it's suffering from a bit of blossom end rot, that one. I don't know if you can see. The same with, I've got a fruit on this one, which is quite a big tomato, and this one also has a little bit of blossom end rot on there. And I've added some magnesium and calcium, because if you see, they're not in very good condition. They're growing in this alien system. I've added some CalMag, and they seem to have picked up. I've got another one over here, ugly tomato, but this one has no blossom end rot. Seems to be growing spot on. Yeah, seems to be growing spot on. And there's also another one, I don't know if you can see it in amongst there, but hasn't got any blossom end rot. So they're growing spot on. And I don't know if there's any in this other one. That all the leaves are very tightly bunched together. Oh, I see something shiny. There is another one, you can see down in amongst that there. So that one's got another fruit on as well. But I've just left them. To see how they go. They're interesting to see how they're growing in this bubbler hydroponic system, the alien RDWC system, which I don't think I'll be using it next year to grow tomatoes in, because I just don't think the tomatoes are suited for it. I don't think they like too much water, don't like to be in the water, and I think that's why all the leaves have curled up, and the plants are very wet, not wet as such, but all the leaves are full. They're not dried out or anything, they're just full. It's hard to explain, but I don't think they're suited to the bubbler system. I've been using the canna feed in them, and they seem to be thriving from it. I mean, the fruit are growing, as you can see. It's nowhere near ripe yet, and it's bigger than my hand. So it's a decent tomato, and I think the one on this plant is even bigger. So yeah, they're hurtling along. Be fun to see what we can get out of that. Okay, I've got a scorpion chili here. As you can see, it's grown into quite a decent plant. I had to take it out of the air pot, same with the other two. I've had to take them out of the air pots. I've had them in 3-litre air pots, and to be honest, they're a nightmare. Air pots are an absolute nightmare. I'll show you what I mean. I've got this little tomato plant in here, a little weedy thing. I'm growing it just underneath this little LED light here. But in this air pot, which I had the chilies in, the similar size, it just dries out so quick. I mean, this was watered yesterday, and it's absolutely bone dry again. I know the size of the plant in the pot doesn't help, but these air pots are an absolute nightmare. They're a nightmare to keep watered, and when you're filling them up with your compost, you're supposed to compact it right down, and then put your plant in, what have you, and it stops the water running out the holes. Well, after a while, when they dry out a couple of times, they become very porous, if that makes sense. So when you're watering, most of the water just falls straight out of the holes, and they're a nightmare to keep wet. So you've got to really overwater them for to make any difference, if that makes sense. You've got to really overwater them for to keep them wet, because you'll lose a lot. That's why I've got it in a tray. You lose a lot of water out of the holes on the air pots. So next year, I know I've got cucumbers growing in air pots, but I'm really giving them a good soak with my hose. Smaller plants, it's just no good. I don't think air pots are suited for smaller plants unless you're going to water a lot every day. It's a nightmare. If you've got 50 or 60 plants and put them in air pots, it's just a waste of time, in my opinion, if you're growing in chilies and stuff like that. Because, like I say, the air pots just aren't good with coping with watering. They're hard to keep wet. It's a big job to keep them wet. Anyway, I'll stop whinging about that. Yeah, I've got a chili here, the scorpion chili, as you can see. It's cracked on since I've been using this shield spray on them to keep them nice and clean. I had massive problems with this Longhorn Thunder chili, Thunder Mountain Longhorn chili. I had loads of green flies on it. It was a nightmare. It was down to just basic sticks, and with the help of that Shield plant wash in the back off, it's done a fantastic job. It's cleaned all the white fly off, the aphids are gone, and it's thriving now. This plant is absolutely thriving, and if you can see here, I'm starting to get chilies on, and these chilies grow really long, spindly, and I'm looking for to enter these chilies into a show in like the end of September time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I get off this plant. I'm hoping that I get some really long chilies so I can at least be in the running for the world's longest chili, which is a record which is going to be made this year. Okay, on to the leeks. These leeks aren't looking good. Last time we seen them, they were really good, thriving, almost 14 inches around. Now they're down to about 8. And what happened was, as you can see, the kinks in these flags here and here, same with this side, that's how much has grown out since the burst. The burst about 9 flags. The leeks burst completely popped about 9 flags. So I had to strip them all back. I've kept them growing, see how they do, but they're going to be no good for a show. But it's still a fantastic growing system for leeks. It gets you from A to B, growing really quickly with minimum use. It's got a timers on it. It feeds itself. All you got to do is keep the reservoir at the bottom filled up. In no time, you're going to get massive leeks. Beautiful leeks for to eat. I can't really fault the system, to be honest. And the chilies I've got in them seem to like the Wilmer system as well. So yeah, I can't complain about that system. It's spot on. Over here, I've got myself a little present. I have bought myself a little bonsai tree. I've always wanted a bonsai tree, and I love it. So I'm going to be looking after this bonsai tree. I might take it out of this round bowl and look for to put it on a piece of slate, like they have, a shallow piece of slate, and see if I can grow it that way on the slate to look a lot better. I really like them. The lemon tree, the lemon bush, is doing really good. It's sticking out new foliage all the time, and I think I've got a little lemon pollinated on it there, so hopefully I'll be growing a little lemon in my shop. And last but not least, I've got some onions in here. I'll just show you quickly. I've got just over a dozen onions there, which I'm trying, that I've set away early. They're giant onions. I'm going to grow them for over a year. Basically, I'm going to try and grow them so I can get the maximum size out of them as I can, and basically grow them till they die. I've realised a lot of the growers who grow massive onions, the onions when they're at the shows are practically dead. There's no green foliage left on them, everything's died. So they must be growing the onions to a spec of past what they're telling people, because I get told that people are starting their onions in December, November, in October, but to be honest, I don't believe it now, because having grown onions myself and looking at other people's onions, big onions that is, there's no way they're starting them off in October, November time. There's not a chance. They've definitely got to be starting them off a lot later and giving the onions over a year of growth, and that's why they're dying. That's why the onions are practically dead when they're being shown, and that's why they're at their maximum size, because they've been given the longest life they can. That's my opinion, and I'm doing some onions. I'm going to grow them for over a year. So these onions I've grown now are for a show next September. So not this September, not next month, but in a year's time. So they'll take 13, 14 months of growing. But if I don't do it, I'll never know. So I like to trial things, as you're well aware. I'll show you what's going on in the greenhouse in a bit. So on my next video, or well, actually no, I'll add it onto this video. So I'll see you in a bit when I'm in the greenhouse.